How millennials are changing the face of financial planning. Millennials, or Generation Y, are a diverse generation that think, act, behave, and interact very differently compared to prior generations, and organizations today are being forced to change and adapt. So who are these millennials, and how are they really changing the face of financial planning? Millennials have grown up in a digital world and hence are early adopters of new technology and are heavy dependents of the internet. Growing up in a period containing numerous financial scandals and significant market corrections, millennials are considered to be far more conservative than earlier generations. They are also categorized as being social, cultural, and environmentally conscious and loyal to communities and self, which is very different to prior generations. Now, let's also see what some others say about this millennial generation.
Are tough to manage, and they're accused of being entitled and narcissistic, self-interested, unfocused, lazy.
Millennials, accused of being addicted to social media.
If you're sitting at dinner with your friends and you're texting somebody who's not there, that's a problem.
Demanding an unrealistic work-life balance.
Financial planning, traditionally best known as a formal face-to-face relationship between a client and advisors containing numerous legal documentation and a specialized complex service offered by financial professionals. Millennials, however, are changing this. Let's take a look at some of the ways this is happening. Firstly, the way financial planners and clients communicate is changing as a result of millennials. Not only are planners being forced to implement modern-day communication methods including online platforms, Skype, Twitter, and social media, they're also needing to alter the way in which they communicate. For example, it is critical to maintain active involvement when discussing information with millennials, otherwise they will become disengaged and lose interest. But this is not the only change happening. Let's consider planners' recommended investment options. Whilst prior generations were not overly concerned with the social, cultural, or environmental impact from investment decisions, these are very important factors for millennials today. This is driving planners to consider impact investment options, which are investments made into companies, organizations, and funds with the intent to generate a positive social and environmental impact, in addition to providing a financial return. Furthermore, whilst receiving financial advice from a robot may seem ludicrous or out of this world to some, recent studies by Schwab show that 40% of millennials would prefer a portfolio based on computer or robot to one based on a human advisor's decisions. But don't worry, this will not mean we will see the return of the Terminator or R2-D2 to offer us financial advice. However, it does mean that due to the demand from millennials, we will see an increase in the availability, quality, and speed of online financial advice, or robo-advice. So with all these changes, what does the future look like for financial planners? Financial planners must be sure to firstly recognize these changes in the industry and then ensure their operating model is flexible enough to adapt and accommodate these changes. And whilst times are changing, there will always be a place for financial planners. It's just the landscape that has changed. It is now time for financial planners to adjust to meet the needs and demands of these new age millennial clients.